Hi everyone, welcome to a slightly different Dicestormers adventure this evening, so hopefully all goes well. We'll see you at the end of the video if it all went well.
And we won't if you don't.
Yes, exactly. Welcome to Mauerfall. This is a Dicestormers Call of Cthulhu Consilium series adventure, where you, the viewer, decides what happens. This adventure is set during the Cold War. Our investigators are all residents in West Berlin between 1961 and 1989, caught up in the hot point of the Cold War. Nothing in what follows is intended to belittle or disrespect the lives and struggles of those who lived through that period. After we introduce our investigators in a moment, we will play through the adventure's start as per usual. At several points in the adventure after that, however, we will come to choice points. The keeper, me, will at that point say choice. At that moment, hyperlinks will appear on the screen, and you, the viewer, will choose where the adventure goes next. If you don't like what happens as a result of one of your choices, you can start the adventure again, or go back to the moment of one of your choices and choose differently. Are you ready? Are you safe?
No.
Then let's play Mauerfall. Who have we got in West Berlin, 1961? Derek.
My name is Utovik. I am a German teenager. I've lived in Berlin for most of my life, but I have adventures all over Europe, including visiting my uncle in the Swiss Alps. He is a very important person to me. He is my mentor, and I carry with me my Swiss Army knife, which he has given to me on my birthday.
Just a normal Swiss Army knife?
It is a normal Swiss Army knife, yes.
Cool. Lovely.
I like all the little attachments. And
Is it a 64? It's got the big thick one with all.
Did they have that back then?
I didn't know.
No.
I didn't
I
know.
thought they were
Maybe
single
not.
and
Yeah,
then
it might
maybe
be, yeah, I
two
don't
or
know.
three things.
Maybe by the 80s there'll be the 64. They certainly had those in the 80s.
He has sponsored my love and interest in electronics, and that is what I hope to make my profession when I leave school.
Thank you, Udorik. John.
My name is Michael Dubois. I'm a French journalist, and this is my first assignment in the West Berlin. I work for the Le Parisien, and I am very inspired by my grandfather, who was awarded a very prestigious journalistic prize, probably the greatest prize in France, therefore the world.
Oui.
And I looked up to him, and I hope to be as great as him one day.
Fabulous. Johnny.
So I'm playing Wilfred Patterson. Wilfred is a young British man, very well educated, and he has taken a great interest in the psychoanalysis under the influence of mostly LSD.
So psychoanalysis under the influence of LSD.
So he gives his patients small doses, or large doses, as the case may be, of various
This is the 1960s.
substances,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
uses them for their healing properties.
Concoctions.
He also takes them himself.
1961.
Well,
61. We're in 61.
You know, just to stay.
as a researcher, you got to keep in,
Yeah.
keep it level.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not do as I say, do as I do.
Yeah.
Nice. Fabulous.
So if any of my companions need some psychological assistance at any point,
You can supply them.
So when we say
self-all sanity.
when we say we're going on a trip, it means something completely different to when you say
Yes.
we're going on a trip.
Yeah, you may be stuck in West Berlin, but you can
like it.
certainly travel
The world.
worlds, in fact.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Nathan.
My character's name is Martin McCain, who is his father was from America, but and his mother was from England. He uses his British passport and travels around gambling because he considers himself a professional person for getting money, but isn't the best at it. But
And what is his particular type of gambling game?
like blackjack is the one he really puts down on, but he always goes that step too far. He wins for the first part and then just loses everything, and it's just it's this pattern that's happening.
Right.
But it's not him. It's not me.
It's the
it's a rig.
Fate.
It's the rigged situation
yeah.
that's causing it. Right.
It's terrible.
What's your luck score?
Yeah, really low.
Yeah, it'd be funny if you had like a really low.
60. Oh, that's
Oh,
not
that's
too
not too
bad.
bad. That's not too bad.
It's better than mine.
Now, before they all start criticising me, we will actually be going through the development phase several times during this game for these characters, so they will be levelling up. And we'll also be aging, so more of that anon.
How do we do that?
I will
I know.
believe this when I see it.
Remarkable, remarkable. Before that, I'll give you the background. At the conclusion of World War II in 1945, Germany was divided. Firstly, along the Oder-Neisse line between what became known as Eastern and Western Germany, but also within Berlin, Germany's capital, deep within Eastern Germany. The city and the country was divided into 4 sectors, each controlled by one of the Allied powers: the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and the Soviet Union. What follows is the standard summary of the history of that division. Know, here and now, that the standard version is a lie. The truth is much darker and may not be completely known, even now. In 1945, the Soviet leader, Joseph Stalin, created an Eastern Bloc of Soviet-controlled states on the western border of the Soviet Union, consisting of Poland, Hungary, Czechoslovakia, and Eastern Germany. It was widely stated that it was Stalin's intention to undermine the British position in Berlin, assuming that the United States would lose interest in Berlin and in Germany within a year. He could then move in and take over all of Berlin, perhaps followed by all of Germany. Alone, France would be unable to resist. When this slackening of interest did not happen in 1948, Stalin blocked road and rail access to Western Berlin through Eastern Germany. This led to the Berlin airlift, which lasted until May 1949. The Allies showed that they were more than willing to supply everything Western Berlin needed by air. The German Democratic Republic, the GDR, in German the DDR or Deutsche Demokratische Republik, was created in October 8, 1949 to govern East Germany. This was a thinly veiled Soviet puppet state which introduced Soviet measures and ideology under the guise of an independent government. It was controlled by the SED, the Sozialiste Einheitspartei Deutschlands, or the Social Unity Party of Germany. In its early phases, movement between East and West Germany and Berlin remained relatively free. Almost 1 million residents from East Germany fled to the West. In 1952, Stalin advised the GDR that the demarcation line between East and West Germany should be considered a border, and not just any border, but a dangerous one. The Germans will guard the line of defence with their lives, he said. In May 1955, the alliance of states to protect Eastern Communist Europe was formalised into the Warsaw Pact. This was partially in response to the creation of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, created in April 1949 as a collective defence system of 29 countries from Europe and North America. Tensions between East and West continued to rise. What this, the standard of version events, does not record is exactly why the border was dangerous and what the Germans would guard with their lives against. The standard version also does not record that the mass defection of East German citizens was allowed, even encouraged, to grant them access to the West, and especially to West Berlin. Many of these citizens were professionals or intellectuals, the so-called brain drain of the East. In fact, they were encouraged to leave, or at least the opportunity for them was left open. The question is why. Recently declassified East German and Soviet records speak of the problem. Das Problem in German, это Problema in Russian. Something, it seems, was discovered in East Berlin in the early days of the Soviet occupation in May 1945. Something dangerous, something which needed both space and containment. And, contrary to traditional ideas regarding Eastern defections to the West, something which sought to gain access to West Berlin. Whatever the problem was, it sought something in West Berlin, something that Soviet authorities considered worthwhile keeping it from. With the closing of the border between West and East Germany, the IGB, or Inter-German Border, in 1955, people continued to flock to Berlin to defect to the West. This loophole was allowed for a further 6 years. In that time, almost 3 million more East Germans fled to the West via Berlin, 20% of the population of East Germany. Everything changed in August 1961. On August the 12th, 1961, at a garden party in a government guest house in East Berlin, the first secretary of the Socialist Unity Party, the GDT State Council Chairman Walter Ulbricht, signed an order to close the border and erect an anti-fascist protective rampart, and antifascistische Schutzwall in German. In short, a wall. Scene 1. No one has the intention of erecting a wall. Niemand hat die Absicht, eine Mauer zu errichten. You are at a dinner party in Eastern Berlin, where you have all been invited. Whether as a guest of someone that you know from West Berlin, or whether as a journalist there on business, or whether it's simply a good opportunity to gamble or to meet someone who you know. No one has the intention of erecting a wall. Niemand hat die Absicht, eine Mauer zu errichten. You are at a dinner party in Eastern Berlin on August the 12th, 1961. So, Uta, you are a waitress at that dinner party. Michael, you are a journalist for La Parisienne at that dinner party. Wilfred, you're just there,
Just there with, just socialising.
just seeing if there's any patients who might need your assistance, shall we say? And there's a red hot.
I
game
don't want
of
to call you a dealer, like, but you might have been dealing cards this time. You know what I mean? Like,
misunderstood medical practitioner, I think, is what we're going with. But
I-
1961, we're not misunderstood yet. I think it's
I'm going with psychopharmacologist.
perfectly legal until the late 70s.
The technical
at
term
very
is
least.
psychopharmacologist.
Nice. Okay, sorry.
it's a growing industry.
It's about to be a dying
Shortened to
industry.
psycho. That's what happens when you're on the LSD. And there's a red hot game of blackjack at this dinner party.
So in the background you hear this, and that's when I told him to fold. And they're
So-
very elaborate stories.
This is perhaps the most lavish dinner party that you've seen and that you've worked at in Eastern Berlin for some time. It's like every effort has been made to provide the best champagne and the best canapes to show the superiority of East German and therefore Soviet catering, and by extension, therefore, their political system, because obviously only the best political system can provide such good canapes.
The best
and champagne.
parties.
Yes. You're there. If you've got any weapons on you, your Swiss Army knife. Give me a luck roll.
Ooh.
Got
Yeah, I've got a pistol.
taken. Yeah.
Should I have that taken off
got
me
taken
too?
off of you at the door.
88. No, I did not.
Yeah, your Swiss Army knife has been checked in just because
Okay.
that we don't want to have anything. So all of the security, and there's.
I gotta switch
Can
my-
you all give me a spot hidden roll, please?
By the way, my grandfather gave me a little thing. That means a lot to me. It's like
Right.
a little lion medallion.
Nice,
thingy,
nice,
Just
nice.
so I let you know.
The Order of the Lion. Okay.
Oh, I don't know what it means.
Oh, you just got.
I don't know what it means,
Right.
but I was given it
Okay.
by my grandfather,
Nice.
who I respect a lot. So I just thought I'd let you know.
You try and sell it. Probably worth something.
Yeah, solid gold.
I make my spot hidden roll.
Oh,
make
yeah,
a spot
actually, I
hidden?
got a roll.
Spot hidden.
I failed mine.
How's yours?
Got to roll under, correct?
Yes.
Then I smashed it.
Okay.
I got a super high, whatever the highest version.
So you've got.
I
we'll be doing
failed
a lot of
95.
this. So you've got hard and extreme successes. So if you roll,
I roll
half,
extreme.
then that's a hard success. If you roll extreme success, then it's 1/5 the value.
Yeah, so I rolled a 10 and I've got 60 for spot hidden.
So it's extreme.
Extreme. So what you've therefore done, you note that the security seems more. You made yours.
No, I failed
You don't-
massively.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
we
just
both
take
missed.
stuff off you.
Yeah.
You notice that the security is more than you've had in previous dinner parties that you've come over the border to cater,
Okay.
and you notice that they're all packing heat.
But like more than normal. Like they're just like.
Yeah, like.
And these guys look
they've
like
got-
the profession. They're not.
I
They're
wonder
not
why
the, they're not the
you're
standard-
noticing
Yeah,
this.
so there's more of them, and there's more.
Nervous because I'm bringing like
there's
fake coins.
Yeah, there's more weapons than you would expect from these guys. So you've been told by your editors to be on the lookout for any useful information as per normal for anything.
Are there any dignitaries or people of interest that I know will be there?
This Walter Ulbricht is your host, so the actual secretary is the host. So it's pretty much anyone who's anyone is here.
Yeah.
And
Am I familiar with these people? Like, have I talked to them
probably
before?
no, you probably haven't been. You would be too suspect as a Western capitalist journalist to be spoken to.
But they don't want their word getting out.
They do, but they don't want it gotten out in the wrong way. They want to control the message.
Message, yeah, okay, quite
you've
insular.
been given communiques as to this is the story, this is what you will say. But yeah, they haven't given you access to speak to them. There has been a secret communique that was sent out on August the 9th that you've seen about a wall, but even President Kennedy hasn't been told about that secret communique.
Okay.
Your uncle has sent you a telegram to tell you that to be on the lookout for something, just in case.
Well, I'm scoping the party. I'm delivering canapes and little dippy things, but I'm also listening in on conversations. In particular, people who are dressed in military attire, or
No, the thing that's obvious to all of you as you walk in, even as you go and play gambling, is there's a stunning woman in one area who seems to be holding court. She's surrounded by a whole pile of men who are absolutely doting on her every word, and she is loudly espousing that the East is best and that communism is the only way, and that the greatest politician the world has ever seen is First Secretary Ulbricht. So she's making her loyalty very loud, and of course there are those around her who are nodding their heads and agreeing vociferously with her and vying for her affections. Can you all give me a spot hidden as you hear this? And she's eye-catchingly gorgeous.
Yeah, I succeed, but not by any huge margin.
Core. 6.
Another one. You're wasting them all. You notice.
You said that last game.
You notice that one of her admirers is giving stern glances to anyone he suspects of being Western. So with your very obvious French flair, he sort of passes over you with a hard glare, but most of his hard glares seem to be directed in one direction. You notice that he's giving a hard glare to a particular individual who's having a whispered conversation with another attractive woman, but nowhere near as attractive as this woman who's holding court. But the kind of attractive woman that if the woman who was holding court knew about would be feeling like she was being competed with. So this woman just is naturally beautiful.
So I'm just seeing drama start.
Can I ask the waitress that walks past? Just stop a waitress. Excuse me, Madame Ambassador, wondering, who is this enchanting woman over here?
So that is Anna Lieber.
her name is Anna Lieber. She is very beautiful.
She's sort of known for her loud praise of all of anything communist, basically.
Yes.
And she's the belle of the ball. And you give me knowledge roll. Knowledge. Yeah.
Idea.
Yeah, idea.
Idea. 9.
Yep, you know that everything
Can I just say,
is
we're getting good at this
has
game.
come from the party. She is basically
Everything she is.
has come from the party.
child of.
She's,
Oh, right.
she's essentially the party has
the
made
Communist
her.
Party. Not the party we're at.
No, the party.
So
Yes.
Yeah, that
I
party,
should
not this party.
already know. We should all already know. Or
You might have heard rumours, but it wouldn't have been confirmed.
Yeah. Okay.
But on a 9,
She is a very big person in the Communist Party from East Berlin.
Thank you so much, and thank you.
you would also know, because of your uncle's warning and your fabulous listening in, she must be the centre of attention, which everyone knows, but she's also an informant for the party, and her actual real name is Anna Fleischmann. But she's been sort of made into a celebrity belle of the ball. So her name is Anna Lieber.
Anna Lieber and Anna Fleischmann.
Yes, real name Fleischmann.
I'll
Okay.
to the waitress.
Great. So,
Appearance 45, so you know.
Bitte.
and what are you doing with your knowledge of who he's looking at specifically?
I'm going to use it for my advantage. I'm going to basically use it and start talking to the people at the table who are playing poker with me at the time. I think it's going to be poker at this point. I think that's where I'd be at the party
You're
this
gonna start with
evening.
poker?
Yeah, and I'm just kind of looking around there. I'm just like, have you seen her? And just start a conversation about her and maybe using that as a means of advantage for me to either get information off them or just kind of like use it so that they aren't really focused on the game anymore, and they're kind of like, oh,
Ooh. Okay, give me a luck roll.
absolutely. Boom. 15. So yeah.
Yeah, you win the hand.
Yes. Damn right.
So
What game was it where we just succeeded on every roll?
It was the last
It was
one.
the last Mario
the
game.
last one, the last, yeah,
Yeah.
yes, every roll.
Yeah, like
it was
really
absurd.
succeeding.
Yeah.
Like no challenge
Like
whatsoever.
loaded dice at the table.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you succeed. There are some nervous looks and some very guarded expressions looking towards not just her, but looking towards the party that surrounds her in general. That there's some very
Can we see like maybe a handler? I'd imagine there would be a handler on somebody that important to like
well,
feed her
the one
information.
who seemed to be
guy.
giving
There
the
was one,
stern
yeah.
glances, the stern glances. He certainly seems to be his glances around the party room rather than at her. So he's in her midst, but he's not giving any attention to her.
Is he almost like a bodyguard? Like he's scanning the crowd?
No, it doesn't look
for
like
a-
he's that he's there to protect her. It almost looks like he's there to catch whatever she lures.
Right.
So she's kind of there to fish. And yeah, he's give me another spot hidden, everyone.
Oh my gosh. I'm using up all my bad rolls.
Good.
I rolled 93.
I failed.
You're-
55, I just get it.
91.
So yeah, you see this it's almost like he's rudely staring now at this particular conversation that's going on between these other two people, because they've become more conspiratorial in their conversation, and you all notice, except for Johnny, except for Wilfred, that there's this whispered conversation going on here, and you can see some people have started edging their way towards that conversation.
Can I bring my canapes around to that
You
conversation?
can indeed, and as you do, can you give me a listen roll, please?
21, I make it.
21.
I'm going to tick that.
Okay. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I didn't notice, so
didn't
I
notice?
did fail
Okay.
my spot hidden.
Give me one more.
I failed again.
Okay. You succeeded.
Yes, I succeeded.
Did
yes.
you succeed, Johnny?
No, I failed miserably.
Right. Can you give me
Very enjoying the party.
Give me an idea roll, both of you.
Ah, that I can do. Yep.
I failed again.
John's conspiring. Johnny, you're hungry, and
Yes.
you see the canapé of your choice go past you on a tray as it goes towards this.
John's really getting into
That
the
you just
theme.
noticed conversation, but you don't even notice conversation, and you notice.
I'm just entranced by this, and
We look
But-
back and John's
and
character
later.
standing in now in the circle.
she's
Yeah,
a
yeah, so
bit-
you're getting close.
Yeah, I'll
so
have a chat to-
she is basically talking about how capitalism is the worst thing that's ever happened to the world, and that the remarkable miracle of revival that's happening in the West.
yeah, I'll just be entranced by her.
yeah.
I'm the bait. Yeah, I'm a young journalist,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I failed.
So, what are you doing at the poker table? Are you still gambling, or are you?
Oh yeah.
You're still gambling.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't stop. It's
Okay.
it's a
You're just-
problem.
Looking around as you do that. Give me another luck roll.
Let's see how lucky I am, eh?
Yeah.
I like these rolls. Or kind of like them. No, I didn't get lucky that round.
Okay, you lost that hand, but nothing nasty. If you do,
I'm back to
What's a
square
critical
one.
fail?
I think it's the top
100.
5, 95 to 100.
Oh, is it?
6 to 100.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I have failed on a critical fail a couple of times.
Of-
Then. Sorry,
For
I thought it was 99
for
to
spotting.
100,
For
but
spotting.
like spot hidden.
Yeah, that's right. You just don't see any. You're
Blind.
entranced.
blinded
Okay,
by
cool.
love.
Entranced by
Sorry, I
hunger,
thought
but
it was 99 to
that's not-
100.
You haven't pulled anything in your eye or anything. Okay, so you made your
Listen roll.
So you hear.
Pulled your
but you only
eye
just
out.
made it. You only just made the roll?
Oh, like, yes, I've got 25 and I rolled a 21. So
Okay, yeah. So you hear them whispering as you bring your tray closer about the problem. It's been contained, but it's becoming more problematic and needs more complex strategies around it. And then they notice you.
prawn cocktail? Fuck.
Subtle prawn cocktail.
So prawn cocktails come in this kind of cup-like thing with all the prawns hanging out of it, right? If
or it can have the cos lettuce and then the prawns inside.
if I was to unbalance it and spill it on him,
Oh,
which would require a costume change and all that sort of stuff, do I think that would be something that the man who is eyeing and taking care of Frau Friel would be something that he would like, that would catch?
he hasn't noticed that he's being observed. He's kind of right into his
Stakeout mode.
Well, no, he's in the stakeout. This guy's deep in conversation with the woman that he's with,
Okay.
to the expense of all else, really, because whatever he's sort of telling her about is absorbing all of his attention, so he hasn't noticed that he's being spotted.
But
Gets him out of the
the
room.
person who's watching him very intently would he like it if? Do I think he would like it if this person was out of the picture?
There are people closing in, so there's sort of like a surreptitious sort of surrounding. So
I might just leave the
Just leave it?
situation there.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right. At that point, Anna Lever gives one of those very, very obvious fake to one of her other male admirers that sort of shakes the room and sort of makes everyone focus back in on her.
Well, I'm trying to get a photo of with her and all this kind of stuff for the newspaper.
Great.
Selfie.
Okay, so you bring out the good old-fashioned flashbulb photograph. You're going to get...
Well, it's the
your-
1960s, isn't it? So
You might have one of those Kodak.
I probably have,
Yeah, with the plug-in...
The plug-in
Yeah,
with
yeah,
with the
flash
12 bulbs
that-
that's going to...
yeah.
So you're going to take a shot?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So as you...
But is that part of the action or is
Come
it?
together, say
Like-
communism.
Hashtag... No, wait, what? Can you give me a luck roll, please?
Okay. Yep.
In the background of your shot, as you maneuver to get the best shot, you see, when your camera's up close, you see this whispered conversation, and the
Waitress.
Fraulein waitress who just gave you a canapé. Yeah.
Excellent.
You gonna
Zoom. Oh, you are so beautiful, madame. Zoom.
Cool. So you can see that they're having a very intense conversation around that. Now, where are you at, Wilfred? You missed your last spot hidden, or you made your last spot hidden?
I missed the spot hidden. But
Made the luck.
Made the luck roll. So I'm chasing a canapé.
You're chasing a canapé. So prawn cocktails are over here. You come close and you grab the prawn cocktail. So there's now three of you standing there having the prawn cocktail. There's this man, this very attractive woman, and you eating a prawn.
You're just like sitting there just standing in the conversation.
Yeah, but you're the
I'm
Times
part
can
of
you say
it.
the word
Part of the
prawn
scene.
You're
cocktail?
there, but you're not there. If you know what I mean.
That's right.
No one ever pays attention.
I'm
to
the thing that
to
carries the
waitress.
prawn cocktails.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Everyone looks at you, the prawn cocktails. They don't even see you. It's
Yeah,
just like the
yeah.
tray. You're
Well,
like,
I certainly didn't see you.
Invisible.
So they start whispering again. Can you give me a listen check, please?
What would you say to a 96?
That is the crunchiest prawn you've ever bitten down on.
You are.
What are you doing?
you need new dice.
What are you doing, Mikhail?
Mikhail?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you've
Well,
seen this.
now that I've seen what's going on, I'll try and wrap up as quickly as I
Yeah.
can.
Well,
with
you've got the shot. You've lit the flash bulb goes off, and that with the smell and the phosphorus and all. that.
But have I noticed anything untoward happening so far?
No, you've just seen this very whispered conversation, and you noticed the intent looks from this guy next to Anna, which are directed at these two having this conversation.
I'm gonna go over to the guy talking to who and see if I can talk to him because he sounds like he's the brains of.
All right.
Is that right? Because she's commanding. As soon as I take the photo, as soon as
So
that
the guy next
happens,
to Anna.
she doesn't care about me anymore. I'm assuming because she wants publicity, so I'm assuming that I'm interesting to her as long as I have a camera.
Absolutely.
And then as soon as the camera goes away, I'm boring. Is that right?
Unless you ask for quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless
So
you're laughing at her jokes or.
yeah, but then I'll go over to him.
Great.
I'll go and I'll say, Monsieur, are you the husband or?
He looks at you with hard, angular, appraising eyes and thin lips and just snorts at you. You are French. Yeah.
Oh, oui?
You do not know what is good for you. Soon, the mighty Communist Party of the Soviet Union will show you who is boss.
Well, that is exactly why I'm here, sir.
You can quote me.
I have the notebook right in front of me.
Soon, the mighty Soviet
It is already written down, sir. I'm a fast.
What's his name?
What is your name, sir?
I am Heinrich Müller.
You must be someone of great power. I apologize, sir. I am very new to this position.
I am nothing.
Does it ring a bell?
No, just
Heinrich.
Müller.
Do I hear him identify himself?
No, you're prawn cocktail bound.
Thing there.
Unless you
Müller.
well, give me a spot hidden. Love the spot hidden roll.
Um,
You might get in trouble if you don't.
now, I've heard rumors about the wall, haven't I?
You have had a communique. If you want to, you can go and bring prawn cocktails over here.
Prawn cocktail?
Corn
cocktails?
cocktail.
Cocktail, yes.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will sachet my way over and
Sachet.
Sachet.
And while you're doing
must-
that, what's happening at the gambling table?
I'm doing what I normally do, which is losing. To the
Let's
point,
see if you win big or lose big.
either way, I'm going to go get a drink after this one. I am 63, which is a loss.
You lose that round. You've lost all the winnings you've made earlier.
So
time
I'm
to drown your sorrows.
yeah, pretty much. So I'm going
you make
over.
your way to the bar, which is where this prawn cocktail of itself is happening here.
This scene must be called prawn cocktail.
Prawn cocktail.
I'm go-
the most mighty canapes in the west, in the east.
Do you have
Prawn
anything
cocktail.
else?
Stirred
No,
eggs.
just prawn cocktail.
There's some caveats.
I'm also wondering how fresh these prawn cocktails are because Berlin is quite the ways away from.
Not that far.
Not that far?
It's been run by Soviet courier.
Okay.
yeah, this
So
was the
they're
best
quite
of
old.
the best.
Are they airlifted stuff in? Is that
No, that's
that was the other
way,
side?
that's the
That
other
was the
way.
west. Okay.
This has been on donkey.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh no, literally run.
Right.
Yeah, like
By a sprinter. A relay of sprinters. Yes.
All carrying.
a single prawn each.
Yeah, don't laugh because they do it. Okay.
So I'm going to the bar. I'm going to ask for a whiskey.
Oh, great. At the bar is where this conglomeration.
So I
of
make a
prawns-
big like I'm a very loud, not American. I'm British because I have my citizenship, but definitely carrying American. All right, give me a whiskey.
A bourbon?
A bourbon.
Because they probably
Yeah.
don't have bourbon.
Yeah, they look at each other
And I'm
they
just
sort of point at a whiskey which is not a bourbon.
Was ist das Bourbon?
Or
What's
das
the-
ist capitalist.
you know what? At this point, after the losses, I don't think I'm really going to
Okay.
notice a change. I'm just going to shoot it and then just ask for another one.
Right. Meanwhile,
And I start listening in.
You're going to start listening in. Give me a listen, right? Meanwhile, your conversation is essentially, and you walk in just at the height of this.
Which conversation? Me or Johnny?
your conversation with Heinrich?
Yeah.
All Wilfred's hearing is crunchy prawn. So they didn't descale this prawn quite as much as they should have. So basically, yes, he.
I'm gonna.
You get a sense that there's some violence under the surface, not that far away from. Yeah.
Do I know anything about the name Heinrich Müller in connection with Anno Liebe?
Give me an idea. Roll.
An idea. 15, yes.
Yeah, you're good on these ideas. He's basically the underground non-party member representative of the Soviet Union. So he's kind of a NKVD, KGB kind of type.
Okay. I ask him if there's a problem.
No. Why would there be?
If you needed any drinks, or I could help you out with any other food, I am very good at solving the problem.
He eats it violently. The problem.
Am I familiar with the problem? I am. You said that in the intro.
He's heard the problem. No, we don't know about the problem. Only you've heard the problem.
Only I've heard
Did you make your listen roll?
No.
yes.
Didn't you say the problem in the intro, the 3-page?
Yes.
Or am I meant to make another
So we
listen
don't.
roll?
We know about the problem, but our characters don't. I don't
Yes,
know. My
yes,
character doesn't know
yeah.
about the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Carry on.
Sorry.
This
Yes.
is really
really
make another
confusing.
listen roll.
Yes. Your prawn's finished.
All right. I failed again.
Oh,
But not
man.
quite as dramatically.
So he looks at you, his eyes narrow when he talks about the problem.
Cool.
I do get a response?
Just a narrowing of eyes.
Okay.
And then 9, and he walks away. John?
Oh, he's walked away. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. You were about to ask another question.
Nope, he's gone. Yep.
So you're left with the waitress and a prawn cocktail. You've drunk your... Did you make your listen roll?
Yes, I did.
You hear them talk about...
I'll go off and I'll find something else to do.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
That
was weird.
You hear him talk not only about the problem, but you also hear him talk about a prophecy.
Well,
In.
I'm loud and
Uh-oh.
I've just lost and want conversation. If I walked up and said, "What do you mean?" and just trying to like come into the conversation.
Right.
Oh, just barrel your way in.
Awkward silence around you guys. At that moment of awkward silence.
Am I?
You know when you
Can you just? I just don't have
Yeah.
a picture of the space.
So essentially, it's like one of those big, sort of lavish ballrooms with sort of.
But I don't
couches and
understand
chairs
where
and
we are in
Where we are in
relation to
relation,
each
yes.
other.
So at the moment, there's a bar where a conversation between these two people is being whispered. Currently, Johnny's near them eating the prawn cocktail that they got offered. Nathan has just joined them having a whiskey at the bar. Then there's a sort of an area with like a table and couches where Anna Lieber has perched herself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you've gone there to talk to her and
To
Heinrich
her.
Müller, and then the photograph of her has the bar with the others in the
Yep,
background.
gotcha.
And Uta is doing the round.
Yep,
So
yep,
you
yep.
can, where you are, you can see them in the direction that your photo was taken. They're currently in that, and at that moment, that's where we get the yelled out, "Really!" And at that moment, the rest of the room goes quiet.
And I'm not a gentle soul. I'm very like just I usually am the person in the room who's like, gambling? What do you mean gamble? Like, I'm very
At that moment, the figure who you all know from the media, because he's been the head of East Germany since 1950,
he's a very serious gentleman.
Yeah.
he walks in. The photo on the left, not the right. The one on the right is
Colonel Sanders.
much later. Walter Ubrecht.
That got me.
He
That got me real
walks
deep.
into the room, and it's about 10 o'clock at night. And as soon as he walks in, everyone from the Anna Lieber side of the room turns and gives him their complete attention. Can you all give me spot hidden rolls? And you guys get a bonus die when you're at the bar.
I succeeded.
Me too.
Lovely.
Fail.
Get a bonus die. So roll the 10s again.
Fail.
Did you make yours, Johnny?
Yeah.
You all notice that the people at the bar don't give any difference and sort of almost shrink away from this conversation.
So
Conversation between.
He's walked in, everyone's gone silent and turned their attention to like a podium at the other end of the room,
Yeah.
and these two kind of shrink away from it. It's like they don't want to be part of that. So Volta steps forward and he announces that at this very moment he will be signing the law into effect that a wall separating East and West Berlin will be erected that very night, and at midnight, in approximately 2 hours' time, the border will be closed permanently. He reassures everyone present and their foreign friends who are with them that they will be safely escorted back to the checkpoints, most famous of which being Checkpoint Charlie. Can you all please give me a psychology roll?
Wow.
I miss half of that because I'm like, you know what? Like, what?
No, I failed.
I failed.
Yeah, me too.
Psychology.
No?
No.
So anyway, what I was saying was,
This roll can be pushed. Look at me exploring new.
Yeah, I would definitely like to push that.
So pushing it means
You
that
re-roll it, and if you fail a second time, something bad might happen.
I've only got a 10% chance.
I have a 20%
I'll
chance.
go for it.
I got it.
I failed again.
I'm gonna try.
Okay.
With 20%, that sounds like something like it'd be fun to try.
Absolutely.
Oh,
26.
It's on a 20.
sad.
You get a sense and you know he's lying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know why I know he's lying? Because I'm a fantastic gambler.
Right.
I can
can
read.
tell.
I can. And
He's
you
gotta
know
tell.
what? I can read you all. And I'm
All right.
slightly drunk at the moment as my character.
Choice. We have a choice.
Uh-huh.
We can stay and gather more information, or we can make our way to West Berlin. Choose now.